Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe and today I'm joined by Fantasy Football Scout Deputy Editor Tom Freeman, who will be revealing his Game Week 22 team. We'll also look back at his Game Week 21 so far, still a couple of matches to go. We're recording this on Thursday afternoon and a couple of matches to go Thursday evening. We'll look at the fixtures coming up and Tom is on the lookout for a Jesus replacement, so we'll take a look at some options. Welcome Tom, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Joe. Yeah, we've got quick turnaround this week, haven't we? So
Yeah.
we're already looking ahead to 22. So it's busy, but it's good. But yeah, how are you? You okay?
Yeah, good. We're both on green arrows, which is good.
Yeah.
You've got a more substantial green arrow than me, but green arrows nevertheless. I think
Yeah.
mine might turn a little red after tonight. I've got no one left. And you've got some points coming off the bench, but we'll look at that in a sec.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a reminder, do press that like button, everyone, and do leave us a 5-star review where you listen to podcasts, and also subscribe wherever you receive our podcasts, and also for on YouTube as well. Keep up to date with our latest videos and podcasts. Okay, Tom, let's have a look at Game Week 21. So you're all out, but
Yeah.
You played Jesus, who's injured, and you got Rodgers 6 points coming in. So do you want to just take us through your team? Because you've got quite a lot of return this week.
Yeah, good week. I mean, we've obviously still got 2 to go tonight. There's a few threats to my rank. Ahmad, Fernandez, Pedro, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's been good so far. So 81 points all out. Fabianski in goal with 1. 2 clean sheets at the back via Munoz and Hall. And then Alexander Arnold just got the 2 and Gabriel got 1.
Yeah.
4 across midfield. Salah 2. Palmer was my captain. He got 20. Gordon got 9. And Semenyo got that goal and assist and 12 points.
Good job you kept hold of him.
Yeah, because this time last week on the video, or just over a week ago, we were talking about potentially moving to Ahmad, and I kind of cooled off that a little bit, and I'm glad I did, obviously. Isak up front, 16 points. Wasn't really close to captain him, giving him that flag, so I'm kind of okay with that. And I played Jesus. I knew he wasn't gonna start, but he stayed in my team, and Rodgers will come off the bench with 6 this evening. So yeah, 81 points all out. Didn't make a transfer, so I've got 2 for next week. The reason for that is I just was unsure about who I wanted to bring in for Jesus. I wanted to give myself a little bit more time to think about it, and because I was happy to play Semenyo on Rodgers, I didn't feel that need to urgently make a move. So that's where I'm at so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of bench points this week. As usual, I've got some with Chris Wood, but people have got many more as well. Because it was one of those weeks where, I mean, you've got 7 or 8 players have returned. Same with me. I had about 7 or 8 players returning, which is, you know, what you want. You want your players all helping your team out there, which is great. And so, yeah, you didn't really need to make that move now. So, but possibly this week you would. There are some options there. So let's have a look. I've got a table of potential strikers. So you've got a bit in the bank. So you can go up to, I think, about 9 million. With a Jesus replacement. Now, it all depends on what you want to do with that. So, for example, for me, my video, I'm looking at cheap strikers only because I'm looking to free up 1.5 million at least so I can get slot in for the assistant manager chip soon. But do you have any plans, just before we look at your strikers, what's your sort of long-term plan with that? Are you looking to do that as well, free up some money for the assistant manager chip, or are you going to look to use it a bit later and worry about that another time?
Yeah, I'm not going to use assistant manager in 24. I'm more likely to triple captain Salah. I'm not massively keen on the fixtures, given that it's Bournemouth and Everton away. But I think looking at the rest of the season and trying to roughly plot out when I will use the other chips, it makes sense to get that Salah triple captain done now, I think. So that's where I'm at with that. I might need a little bit of money in the bank to bring in a 3rd Liverpool asset, which I'll probably decide on next week in game week 23. I don't think I'll make a move now. But I might need a little, depending on who I take out, if it would be Semenyo or Gordon or something like that. But I don't massively need to keep money in reserve at the moment, I don't think. So
No. Okay, well, let's have a look at some options then. So, yeah, top of this, in terms, because I've sorted this by minutes per expected goal involvement. This is all matches. There's some players that I know you probably wouldn't be interested in, so you might want to sketch over them. But with 120 minutes per expected goal involvement, Watkins is top. You're not interested, even though you're a Villa fan?
No, thought he played well last night, but
Yeah.
Duran's obviously there.
Okay.
He's going to get a few minutes. Champions League coming back, so not somebody I'm considering
No.
right now.
No, Jackson is next. 129 minutes. He's getting an expected goal involvement. He's in fifth of teams. Got 9 goals, 5 assists. Watkins has got 9 goals and 4 assists. Personally, I've got Jackson. He's got me a couple of returns in the last month or so,
Yeah.
but I'm looking to move him on, free up some money. I've seen enough, I think, that he's quite wasteful. He might get me a haul every now and again, but yeah,
Yeah.
I presume you're not interested either.
It was a great assist the other night, but then
Yeah,
he reverted to type after that, didn't he? And
yellow
missed a couple
cards,
of good
brilliant.
chances.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So no, not looking at Jackson now. I would never rule him out further down the line, but yeah, not looking into him at the moment.
next name is Wissa from Brentford. He is someone I'm considering as well because he
Yeah.
fills the bill. Jackson to him would free up money for me, frees up money for you, but also he's really good. He's third in this list all season. 131 minutes he's getting expected goal involvement. Got 11 goals and 2 assists. That's 13 returns for 6.2. I've got Brian Bomo as well. I don't mind the double up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's someone you're considering, I think.
Yeah, the only off-putting thing is the next two fixtures, playing Liverpool and then Palace away. But after that, it's a really good run. So he's probably in my top 2 or 3 candidates to come in.
Okay.
He doesn't have penalties like some of the other guys do, but he's nailed on in that team, obviously. And Thomas Frank was really talking him up earlier this week with his partnership with Mbomo. So yeah, maybe playing Liverpool. It's not the worst time at the moment either, is it?
No.
Defensively, they're not keeping as many clean sheets, so it wouldn't surprise you if Wissa got something again
Yeah, I mean,
against.
you possibly also like say you wouldn't want to play him the next game as well. So you want to sort of perhaps just for those, maybe not for you, but for some people might want to rotate as well. So I was just going to
Yeah,
say you could rotate with Rodgers, but it wouldn't really work out this week
no,
because Rodgers has Arsenal. Doesn't really work out with like Semenyo because he's got Newcastle as well. So you might want to bench them both really if you've got Visser. Yeah, so it could be some
I-
other, if you're looking for rotation. So, for example, Vardy at Leicester, he's got Fulham at home, which is obviously a better fixture. But that's just for this
yeah,
week. And then he has a couple of poor fixtures.
yeah. I think it would be ideal to not to maybe kind of keep him benched in that tougher fixture. But I think at home against Liverpool, away against Palace, I still think you're probably going to be inclined to play him because
Yeah.
Brentford can still score,
Oh,
can't
yeah.
they?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, and it's that run after that I think you'd really want him for. Tottenham at home, West Ham
Yeah,
away, Leicester away. They're really good fixtures for attackers. So
definitely.
he's definitely in my thoughts. I don't think he's my favourite pick right now, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely. Next name is Jimenez. I'm not sure if you're interested in him. He's had 10 attacking returns, 8 goals. Yeah, still playing, still looking good.
Only sold him recently, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of not looking at
Okay.
going back there because the concern then was Muniz was starting to play well, and now I think Raul's kind of edged back ahead of him again since then.
Yeah.
But again, the fixtures, Leicester's obviously great, but then you got United, Newcastle, Forest, Palace, so
Yeah.
it's not. I think I think the time for Fulham assets was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Havertz as well at Arsenal. I presume you won't go there. I was in my team briefly and then I went
Yeah,
out. I mean, if you wanted to just do a like for like, Havertz is playing up front because Jesus isn't
yeah,
available. But nevertheless, they're sharing the goals. Trossard got in the action this week. You've got Martinelli as well. Odegaard can get them. There's no Saka. Havertz could get returns, but it's not a sexy pick at the moment, despite
no.
having 7 goals and a couple of assists and a minutes per expected goal involvement every 164 minutes, placing him 5th in this list.
Yeah, I think a bit like Jackson, he's been wasteful recently, hasn't he, Havertz? He's missed quite a few big chances. And the Arsenal attack, it's functioning, but it doesn't seem to be quite hitting those heights
No.
that it does when Saka's available. And Jesus is obviously out now as well. So I'm not looking at Havertz right now. And I think if you were, I think you might want to see him get a goal before you move there because he's obviously quite low on confidence right now.
Yeah, next up is Vardy at Leicester. He's 38, I think, now.
Yeah.
5.5. He's one I'm interested in because I don't. I see Vardy as just a brilliant first sub if you need them. I'm not that. bothered about playing him because just in my setup. But I don't think you. I can just tell he not be for you. But he's got 10. He's got 10 attacking returns, and his minutes per expected goal involvement is just behind Havertz and above
Yeah.
Solanke, who's next in this list.
I would have more I don't mind the player Vardy, but they're just really bad under Van Nistelrooy at the moment. They're just
Yeah,
not scoring goals. They look like they're down already at the moment,
mm,
the way Leicester are playing.
yeah,
They actually had a bit of an upturn in form when he came in, and then I think you would be looking at Vardy, but not right now because they're just not creating enough
no.
chances. No.
No, definitely. Next name, Solanke. I mean, he's really reliable, put it
Mm,
that way. He's got 12 attacking returns, 7 goals. Richarlison is back, but, Solanke seems to be favoured.
yeah.
Minutes per expected goal involvement, as I said, 166 minutes, so very similar to Vardy. 83 points so far. Yeah, he's okay, but he doesn't really. I don't know whether it's a sort of shiny new toy thing, but
Yeah.
Solanke, Havertz, just not really interested in them. But things like Wissard just sort of seems more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Spurs are another team not playing well at the moment, are they? They've got, what is it, one win on nine, one
Yeah,
win in nine or something like that. So, yeah, Solanke will tick over. But I think for me to go there, you would want to see Maddison playing again and really kind of creating and
yeah,
playing well from midfield. It all felt a bit lethargic last night, I thought, the derby. And
yeah.
fixtures are so-so. Not really in the conversation, I don't think, for me at the moment.
Okay, this player might fit your bill though, because you are not going to play the assistant manager chip in Liverpool's double game week because you've still got the triple captaincy. It's not something I have left, but that also means you can get a third Liverpool player,
Yeah.
of which Gakpo could be one. He's seemingly favoured. He's starting pretty much every match. He's got 6 goals, a couple of assists. Every match he looks good. But he's only got 69 FPL points, but that largely due to minutes, I guess. But he's had more minutes in recent weeks, and just behind Solanke for minutes per expected goal involvement, every 176 minutes there.
Yeah, I like him as a pick, but I might leave it a bit longer for that Liverpool option
Yeah,
because there's three in the mix. There's Jota as well and Diaz and Gakpo.
yeah,
And I'm a bit worried that Jota's coming back and he's making an impact, which suggests that he will play up front. When he does play, he'll play up front through the middle. And then you've got Gakpo and Diaz potentially fighting out on the left wing. I think just waiting for as long as I can till I make that decision will help me in the double game week the most. So I don't. I'm probably not going to do it this week, and then I might have another look against Ipswich and see. But I think more information is really important with that third Liverpool pick. So leaving it as late as possible is what I want to do. No.
Next 3 names here, I'll just read off their stats and stuff because I don't think you'll go for them because you already have João Pedro, who's one of them, so which means you probably wouldn't want Welbeck as well. And Cunha for Wolves doesn't have the fixtures at the moment, but I'll mention them in case anyone wants to go for them. Because I personally don't rule out going back for Cunha at some point, especially game week 27 when their fixtures turn
Yeah.
a lot. So anyway, Welbeck's next. He has got 8 attacking returns just from 13 starts. And he's a 5.5 now. João Pedro's 5.7. He's on penalties. He's better owned. He's more got in 16% of teams. Once again, he's got 10 attacking returns and a penalty so far. 5 assists, 5 goals. He's got lots of routes to points there. His minutes per baseline bonus is the strongest out of any of these one of the strongest out of any of these candidates. Cunha is in fact the best. And Cunha himself, his minutes per expected goal involvement is very similar to Welbeck's and Pedro's sort of. His is 203 every 203 minutes. So basically they're sort of expected to get goal involvement every other game. But he does have 10 goals, Cunha, 4 assists. Wolves fixtures, Bournemouth away, 26 is tough. They're all tough before that. And then suddenly got Fulham at home, Everton at home, Southampton away. That's sort of the time I might consider Cunha. Because, of course, in game week 29, away to Southampton, he could be a captaincy candidate. It's a blank game week for some of
Yeah.
possibly for some of the other candidates that we could be thinking of.
Well, yeah, that links well to the next striker, Mateta,
Yeah.
because they could blank then. So
Yeah, definitely. So Mateta is someone that I presume you're considering. I've got Saar. I've sort of gone for Saar. Some people have got Eze. and some people have gone for Mateta. So yeah, Mateta's look. I mean, their attack looks functioning and good. He's 7.3. He's got 6 goals and 1 assist from 19 starts. From I didn't know he'd actually started that many. I don't even know if that's. I might
They
even. Yeah.
yeah, they threw him in quickly after the Olympics, didn't
No,
they?
that was it.
And
Yeah,
he struggled a bit to begin with,
that
but
was it.
he's been their main man. I mean, Nketiah has kind of
Yeah.
been playing behind him rather than instead of him. So
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So I mean, I was quite surprised that he'd started that many because I was convinced he was injured. But I guess he must be when he's had injuries, he sort of started then came off early. But yeah, I mean, okay, he doesn't excite me as much, and I think I still prefer Saar because he's cheaper.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
that's it. He is a bit more expensive than Eze and Sarr, isn't
yeah,
he? And I do like him, but I'm wary of putting too much emphasis on blank game week 29 because it's a long way away. But I've got it in the back of my mind that I've got 3 Newcastle players already. So
yeah,
Newcastle and Palace, that fixture could be off.
mm-hmm.
Now if Liverpool go through as well, and I'm tripled up on them,
Ah,
I've just got to start thinking about it a little bit. And if I start, I had looked at Mateta earlier this week, and that would kind of put me off a little bit. And I still think I don't want to play a chip that week, or I don't want to be forced into
yeah.
playing a chip that week. So I've just got to. I'm thinking now, maybe just I've already got Munoz, so I'm just thinking maybe just leave it with that with Palace.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. So I think I would probably be inclined to do that. I'm not so heavily invested in them as well. I've got I went for Henderson in goal, so I can
Okay.
possibly play for Bruggen, but he's get Man City, which does make me think I might consider getting Pickford in for the double of
Yes.
Everton's
Well,
because he would be
did very
handing
well
game
for
week
me.
29 as well, sort of save him up
Yeah. Yeah.
for that.
Pickford's one of those great double game where he did
Yeah,
really well for me last year in the
yeah.
double. So
Chris Wood, last name on the list, but his minutes per expected goal involvement is the worst out of any of these, every
yeah.
216 minutes. But he can defy the stats. So him and the likes of Vardy, who are sort of traditionally very accurate strikers, they're old school. And it proves he's got the most goals out of anyone here. So he's the most strikery striker on this list. Just the
Yeah.
1 assist, 13 goals. He's been in my team for ages.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
got pretty much most of his points. I have benched him occasionally. I think I've benched a couple of goals of his. But yeah, but basically he would be the one I would get if I were you because it's just no messing
Yeah.
around. He's just really
Yeah.
good. He can score against the likes of Liverpool. He's got Southampton at home next, so you're looking at an immediate return. Then Bournemouth and
Yeah.
Brighton. I think he'll score against Brighton, his old team. Lots of old teams for him.
And
Then
then
he's
for
got
Fulham,
Fulham,
yeah.
and then even I even fancy him scoring against Newcastle, Arsenal, and City. Whereas Ipswich in game week 29, which you probably want him for that.
Yeah, good points, Joe. I mean, as a non-owner, he's just been annoying recently because he's taking like one shot and scoring, and he's just been really clinical. But Forest are playing really well at the moment, so there's confidence throughout that team. I think the fixtures brilliant this week. Bournemouth away will be tricky. Brighton's pretty good at home. Fulham's pretty good
Yeah,
away. But you're still even going to Bournemouth. The way that Wood's playing at the moment, he's
yeah,
probably going to get a chance. He's the talisman as well. He's got
yeah,
penalties. So I think maybe this isn't a situation where I need to overthink it,
no,
and
I would not.
I don't need to start looking for differential picks or low-owned
Yeah,
ones in mini leagues and things.
yeah,
I think maybe with Southampton at home on Sunday, I just get on Wood now, and then just hold him like you say right up until that Ipswich fixture in
yeah,
29, and then after that it's becoming wild cards, bench boosts, that
definitely.
kind of thing. So that's where I'm leaning towards at the moment, just getting Chris Wood in. No.
Okay, well, I've just put your team up on the screen for Game Week 22.
Yeah.
So you currently got a 4-4-2,
Yeah.
Jesus on the bench. So,
Yeah.
okay, just run through your team. And if you did get Chris Wood in, for example, for Jesus,
Yeah, I know what you're going to ask.
who comes out? Because there are
Yeah.
contenders. I mean, personally,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would look to perhaps one of the defenders or even
Yeah.
Semenyo.
Yeah. Yeah, so 4-4-2, I've got Sells in goal at home against Southampton, 4 across the back, Munoz away at West Ham, Alexander Arnold away at Brentford, Gabriel at home to Villa, and Hall at home to Bournemouth. Midfield, Salah away at Brentford, Palmer at home to Wolves, who's my captain at the moment, Gordon at home to Bournemouth, and Semenyo away at Newcastle. Not ideal, Semenyo up against Hall. And then two strikers, Isak at home to Bournemouth, João Pedro away at Man United. And then on the bench, I've got Fabianski, Rodgers, Collins, and Jesus.
Okay.
So, so Jesus to Wood looking quite likely at the moment. Unless something happens tonight to João Pedro.
Jesus and Wood and perhaps nails as well. It's not a good combination.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should rethink that. But that's the plan at the moment anyway. So that's that then. I wouldn't say it creates a benching headache, but it's something to consider because Wood obviously comes into the first 11. Now, at the moment, João Pedro, we don't quite know if he's going to start tonight.
Yeah.
But I think he's been back in training. So even if he doesn't start tonight, he's probably going to play at United. Would that be right thinking that, Joe?
Yeah. I would think so. And he's on penalties and Manchester United concede.
Exactly.
And he's got reached the point. And also Brighton are looking better now. Their attack is looking much better.
Yeah.
With or without Welbeck,
Yeah, so I think that he's probably going to play. So then I think it comes down to two players, and it's either bench Munoz or bench Semenyo. Now I think Munoz probably concedes at West Ham with Potter in charge there now. So it kind of then comes down to who do you think is going to get an attacking return out of Munoz or Semenyo? I think you probably have to favour Semenyo because of his position on the pitch. But then I've got Hall. So do I just want to kind of really try and maximise that upside? And I'm still not sure, but I think it'll be one of those two I bench.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean Munoz, Hall, or Semenyo immediately. What I would think.
I think I'll play Hall. I think Newcastle are playing so well at the moment.
Yeah.
I think they'll concede. Bournemouth normally score away from home, but again, it's that he could get an assist.
It's that attacking threat, isn't it? Munoz obviously has got the shots as well. Final question before we go: the captaincy. So I went for Salah this week. I could have got an amazing return given the last 10 minutes of that game.
Yeah,
and Palmer actually didn't do much else apart from
he started well, and then the whole attack tailed off. Didn't
absolutely reverse for Salah owners. They started badly. He started badly, and then by the end it was like, wow, how are they not scoring? Obviously Isak was the one there. You got options. Isak captaincy against Bournemouth. I think for me it's between Salah and Palmer. I've currently got it on Salah. I think he's gonna. I think he's going to score against Brentford. Palmer is in the reckoning at home to Wolves. You've currently got it on Palmer. What are you going to... I mean, is it chopping and changing, or are you pretty set on Palmer?
No, it's close. It's between those two, like you, Joe, really close. Just having watched Wolves against Newcastle last night, I thought they were very open. I think Brentford can be a tough place to go, but I do think Liverpool will beat them, and I think they'll get back on track. So it's really close this week. I just think Palmer at home, like he's been so good. He's so reliable in home matches. But then if you're going to captain Salah, you'll probably come to me and say generally he's really reliable in away matches. So
he is. I did some stats on it. He was averaging 5.8 big chances away.
Jesus, okay.
Which is more than Palmer does at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a real tough one. For me, it wasn't. There was caveats last week. This week, both of them are good. I wish we had a double captaincy chip. Because I really like them both.
I think Palmer will be, it depends how much you want to risk it as well. Palmer will be much less owned, won't he? Or much less captained, I think. I think the majority will go for Salah this week. So, I'm not totally, I'd say it's 60-40 Palmer at the moment. It's close.
Yeah, very close. Okay, well, good luck with the game week. Good luck with the decisions, especially if they're similar to mine, because I hope I get good luck as well. Good luck, everyone watching and listening. We'll be back next week looking ahead for game week 23. Should be a little bit more normal next week with the deadlines. Take care, Tom. See you soon.
Cheers, Joe. Thank you.